Construction of the Great Iron Dome missile defense shield.
He's pushing for some bold reforms.
And I will direct our military to begin construction of the Great Iron Dome missile defense shield, which will all be made in the USA. And we will get wokeness the hell out of our military immediately and make it like it used to be.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give out praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles, a great millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, pushing this word in sincerity and truth. You know, this is your brother Yassad back at you with another lesson, will not edifying to the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You know, and as the Lord say, you know, he set watchmen upon the walls of Jerusalem that would not hold their peace day nor night. Right? And then we come out in the spirit on everything, you know, being, you know, a watchman, you know, every news article, everything, and we look into it, you know, and reference it to the scriptures. Right? Because that is the whole, you know, purpose of the prophets. You know, going into the prophecies and whatnot, right? So this is here it is, you know. Well, within this video itself, it mentioned a couple things, you know, for Trump inauguration for 2025. Some of his, you know, intentions and decrees he would carry out, and one that actually going to just go straight up on topic with is he mentioning, you know, America is going to build a great dome, a defense missile system, whatnot, right? And we know, hey, no matter what, Babylon is screwed. So this isn't, we know that, hey, this time is here. You know, the destruction of Babylon is soon, because the Lord said, oh, take balm for her that she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon. You know, and I'll bring that scripture right after, because this here is just imagery of right. This here is just really an imagery of the dome, you know, the missile deflective system, right? So this here is more or less a setup of it. It says a radar system unit, right, to detect the missiles. Then there's a control center to transfer the information at the direction and whatnot to the missile firing unit it's a destroy threat before it reaches inhabited areas, right? So the control center decides if the missile poses a security threat, you know, like if it's gonna hit the city or whatnot, right? And then the firing unit would receive that data and send out a interceptor missile, so the impact would be in the air and it wouldn't be into the city, right? So Trump is gonna look to execute and build its most, you know, vast and advanced dome system, you know. But hey, the scripture say no matter what, well, according to the scripture, no matter what, hey, Babylon the Great, the Lord already had purposed its destruction. So your aim to make Babylon great again isn't all in vain, right? Next picture here. This one here is how Israel Iron Dome defense system works. So missile explodes near rocket, destroying it. The enemy rockets fired. The radar system detect rocket and tracks. Control system estimate impact point. So where the missile gonna hit. Right? The launcher fires missile to intercept into the air before, you know, it reach any range at the area it looking to hit. So that is just a quick imagery of how the dome system, actually works. So Trump is actually wanna be able to execute you know a vast system, a dome system, because they know the prophecies, and they know, hey, they're entering into a time a real war, and no matter what they wanna do, they're not gonna be able to protect their capital city, which is America, right? um let's get here the book of Jeremiah 51. Book of Jeremiah chapter 51, and I'll start at 1. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, behold, I will rise up against Babylon. The scripture says, for whom have resisted his will, and against them that dwelleth in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. And we know that destroying wind, what it is. It pursuant to Isaiah, um, as it say, the Lord create the smith that blow the coals, that bring forth the weapons and indignation and whatnot. It says, and I will send upon Babylon fanners that shall fan her and empty her land. And this here is just really being metaphorical, because it going into the nuclear missiles. When it hit, it actually bringing this big Besserman effect. When it erupt, that I would say the explosion, that wave it's gonna be bringing a destruction. It's being described as a fan. Let's say, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. Because for the longest time, Babylon, when you jump down to verses 7, I'll bring it out, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Pursuant to Revelation, the 17th chapter. Because, hey, Babylon had its real prideful times. But Revelation 17 and that bear with me. Right. Revelation 18 and 7. How much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Yeah, because Babylon surely had the proud time, because the scripture says, well, they cause fire to fall from heaven in the sight of men. Brought great havoc unto many nations, right? Because Revelation 17 and 1, and there came out of the 7 angels which had the 7 veil, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And that many waters going into nations and tongues, pursuant to Revelation 8 or Revelation 17 and verses 17. For Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai put in their heart to fulfill his will. And verse 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, that the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. because as we know, Babylon is the whore that riding upon the beast, right? The NATO and the EU, they have those in the grasp, right? Um, this Revelation 17 and 10, right? So as it says, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. The 5 that were fallen would actually be like the Spanish, French, the British, Germany major, Germany minor. Yeah. And the one is, well, yeah, Spanish, French, Germany major, Germany minor, and right. Well, the one is actually British, but what went on is that, when Babylon fought for their independence and whatnot, um, against the British, they actually lose, but the British set them up, and give them power to reign, which we know ultimately is the Lord. It say, and the beast that was is not, and he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into position. Yeah, because he is of the 7, the British, right? And right, and goeth into position, into destruction. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings. And this is, well, there is the old, there's the there's the old, triumvirate system, a Babylon back then, and then in this time in here there's a system where America rides upon, with the NATO and the EU, right, which would make up the the 10 horns, the 10 kings, right? It's which have received no kingdoms as yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. They shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lords of lords and Kings of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. Right? And this here is the point here. And he saith unto her, I read this already. The waters thou sawest, which the horse sitteth, are people and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horn which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the horse. So the same, those that are confederate with her, they're gonna become to hate her. Right? I'll get back at that Jeremiah 17, and that is, let's get back I'll get back to the Revelation 17. Let's get back to the Jeremiah 51, right, and verses, verses 3. Against him that bended the bow, let the archer bend his bow. Because we saw, she sit as a queen, she saw no sorrow. And I was mentioning about, she caused fire to fall from heaven when she, brought great destruction with Fat Man and Little Boy. The atomic bomb that went off in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Right? Yeah, all at that time, World War One. She shoot forth her power and bring great fear upon the nations. So it say, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigadine. And the brigadine here goes into like a defense system. And spare ye not a young man, destroy ye utterly all her host. Right? Right? Because this here is brigadine. A brigadine is a form of body armor from the late Middle Ages up to the early modern era. It is a garment typically made of heavy cloth, whatever. But we know that this actually, that armor, that defense goes into what? Into the same thing as he mentioned, that dome system. Because it say, and against him that lifted himself up. Because he, as Trump say, he's gonna build hey, let's play it back again. Um,
Used to be, and we will get wokeness the hell out of our military. Which will all be made in the USA. Direct our military to begin construction of the great Iron Dome missile defense shield, which will all be made in the USA. And we will get wokeness the hell out of our military immediately.
yeah, a great Iron Dome missile system, you know. So that idea is actually the brigadier it's talking about. He's feeling proud, he lift up himself. And spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are trust in the streets. Yeah, right? We'll jump down to verse 7. It said Babylon had been the golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. All her philosophies, and the Babylon being such a hammer upon the earth, as look concerning, he would put sanctions upon nations and blacklist nations and countries and whatnot, right? Because he had that power. But hey, all of this here, the nations are rising up against him. Look, the BRICS alliance has formed, and many nations have seen the treachery and such of a covenant breaker they are. Hey, they are allying with the BRICS nations. BRICS alliance. Let's say the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. All for take balm for pain, if so she may be healed. And that is what Trump is coming with. The vibration of safety and security and things is gonna get better, and he's gonna build America better and build great again and whatnot. But the Lord had pronounced destruction upon that place. Let's say we would have healed Babylon. This is where he is thinking. That is here his last try here to make Babylon great again. But it said we would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. So when he is in power there and he's gonna set up his laws, Babylon still is not gonna be healed. Forsake her. This is what the scriptures are saying. And let us go everyone into his own country, for judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Jump into the Revelation 17 back, right, and verses 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua had put their hearts to fulfill his will. And we'll go into what the Lord's will soon, right? In Jeremiah 50. And to agree and give her kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua be fulfilled. So, let's say, right, the Lord's, the word as the scripture we read earlier on. Let's say in verse 10, Revelation 17 and 10, and he must continue a short space, a short time, until what the Lord will be fulfilled with their destruction, their fall. Right, the book of Jeremiah chapter 50 and verses 14. 50 and I'm going to start at I'm going to try verses 14. It says, put yourselves in array round about all ye that bend the bow. Because we know in this time, Joel, the book of Joel, the prophecy in the book of Joel that's speaking of the nations, they're going to be their plowshares into swords, and they invest in all their money into nuclear, artilleries, and this is what's going on. That is why America had to come out with a law for for other nations not to be used to be, making nuclear weapons and whatnot and thing. And a lot of people they didn't fall for the beast, snare. Right? So it says verse 14, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Shout against her round about, she had given a hand. Her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance upon her, as she had done do unto her. Yeah, so this here is the Lord's will. It is his vengeance being rained upon them. Right? Jump into verses 29. Call together the archers against Babylon. All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all she had done, do unto her. For she had been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, said the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud. Yeah. And you hear the pride in Trump's mouth. It says here, the Lord of hosts, for thy day is come, the time I will visit thee. And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall rise up, and I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him. So let me get the last precept here to close off. Revelation 18 and 17. For verse 16. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors, as many as trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of a burning, saying, what what city is like unto this great city? Right? Yeah. She be destroyed in 1 hour. She judgment come. Yeah, because as Putin say, they have nuclear missiles that are undetectable, and within I think it's 13 minutes it's reaching into Babylon. And more they keep advancing, so hopefully this lesson was edifying. Double honors to the elders, the apostles, a great millstone. Salute to you brothers, in sincerity, pushing this word, keep pushing until the next one shall come.